What's up, guys? We have some NASCAR news to go over that was announced yesterday and today. Let's start with what I believe is the biggest news, and that biggest news is Brendan Gaughan will retire after the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series season. He will do the Daytona 500 and hopefully can also do all 4 super speedway races, 2 at Daytona and 2 at Talladega. That's what he is hoping for with Beard Motorsports in that number 62 Chevrolet Camaro, and hopefully he could get to do that, because no matter if he can do that after the 2020 season is over, however many races he did, we know he will do the 500 at least if he makes it in. He will retire from NASCAR. He will no longer do any more Cup Series races. No more NASCAR races. That's kind of sad to see. I've kind of known Brendan Gaughan in these past few years as the guy who does the 4 super speedway races, which it seems like he could hopefully do next year as well in that same car. And I hope he can, because I'm just kind of gotten used to that. So hopefully Brendan Gaughan can make all 4 super speedway races across Daytona and Talladega next year in the 2020 season, because after that, Brendan Gaughan will be retiring. Unfortunate for Brendan Gaughan, but he's getting older and it makes sense for him to do that. The next set of news we have is that Ross Chastain will be returning to the Truck Series for Nice Motorsports on a part-time basis in that number 44 Chevrolet Silverado. We know he's going full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Colleague Racing in that 10 car, but he will also do some part-time trucks for Nice Motorsports, like I said, and hopefully he could do some part-time or even full-time Cup races for who knows what team, maybe Premium Motorsports, although Brennan Poole took that 15 car. And since Majeski took that 45 truck full-time for Nice Motorsports in 2020, Chastain's going to have to be in that 44. And it's also interesting because just a few days ago, Carson Hocevar was announced as a part-time driver in that number 44 Nice Motorsports truck for 9 events. So we'll have to see how many races Chastain does in that truck, and there will also be a third driver yet to be announced to drive part-time in that number 44 truck for Nice Motorsports in the Gander Outdoors Truck Series. All right, so let's go right here. Jay Fabian says that impound races will be most of the races next year. Most of the races will be impound races. That means that after qualifying one day, you can't make any major changes to your car before the race. And that is really interesting there. They're going to do mostly that next year. And also with the DQ inspection process pre or post-race, they're going to bring even more cars in there to inspect for parts, to see what kind of parts are bad, so they could see what people or what teams might be using on the next gen car, which will be the year after next year. So that's really interesting to see there. Now, Rick Ware Racing is also branching out to IMSA, and they will race in the Rolex 24 at Daytona this year. James Davison, I know I'm going to mess this guy's name up, Mark Vam, I'm just going to say that, Cody Ware, obviously his son, and Aston Martin Autosport BRDC Young Driver of the Year, Jonathan Hoggard, are to race its LMP2 Riley Gibson in the Rolex 24 at Daytona. So that's really nice to see there, how they are kind of spreading out from NASCAR. They're staying in NASCAR, obviously. We just got announced a couple days ago that Joey Gase was going full-time Cup for them, and we already know JJ Yeley is as well, and they have 3 full-time Cup cars next year. And also, Rick Ware Racing will be competing in the Asian Le Mans Series, where Cody Ware and Mark Vam are second in the championship. They will be racing across at least 7 countries and over 60 races between 4 national series. And they also have old sponsors, and the normal ones they've always had, and new sponsors that are yet to be announced, and they will be announced at a later date. So they have even more sponsors that could also come over to their Cup Series and Xfinity Series teams if they wanted to. But we know this is mostly Asian Le Mans and IMSA with the Rolex 24 at Daytona, which is sports car series, is as you know. So that is pretty much all the news we have today. Brendan Gaughan retiring after the 2020 season. Hopefully he could do all 4 super speedway races, doing the 500. Chastain part-time trucks with Nice Motorsports, the team he was with last year, full-time. Almost got the championship. He will be in the 44 truck. Rick Ware's going over to IMSA sometimes, I guess. No, it seems like full-time. And impound will be more prominent, as well as the DQ process will go through even more of the cars to check for faulty parts to see what teams could be using on that next gen car, which is on track to debut in 2021. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.